Briefings are often a great deal of concern for people that are training to be a driving instructor. I once sat next to a trainee that gave me 27 minutes of briefing before I stopped him. In actual fact, the whole lesson needs to take 28 minutes. What I try to do is I try to explain to people that they're going to give a briefing which is going to take around 6 minutes. I'm not going to jump up and down if they take 7, maybe 8, but certainly no longer than that. The idea is to give a briefing of 6 minutes. And the phrase that I use to all my trainees is try and cut out the fat and just give me the meat. So in other words, a briefing is an explanation of the main points in a brief manner. But we do need to be able to cover the important parts. Otherwise, the person that you're giving a briefing to isn't going to know what that is. So what we've got here is we've got a preset test 2, phase 1, which is moving off and stopping, which means that we're teaching it to somebody for the first time. The briefing that we're going to give them is about POM, prepare, observe and move. So prepare will be clutch down, first gear or reverse gear, set the gas, find the biting point. The observe will be blind spot, mirrors and blind spot. The move off will be feet still, parking brake off, more gas, slowly off the clutch, steer right, steer left, and if necessary you would have signalled. When stopping, we're going to look for a safe, legal and convenient place. We're going to get the mirrors. We're going to find a position which is going to be suitable with the curve. We're going to do the mirrors, middle and left. We will signal if necessary. We're going to steer in towards the curb and we're going to put the clutch down. We've got a question why, which I'll come to. We're going to slow down once we've stopped, feet still, parking brake on, car into neutral, signal off if it's on, and relax. Now we've got a why here. The reason for that is that when we're teaching people to move off and stop, it's quite probable that they're going to go very slowly. So if they're going 5 or 6 or 7 miles an hour and we ask them to pull over and stop, it's likely if they're going to brake first that they're going to stall. So in this instance we're going to use the clutch, put the clutch down and then slow down and stop. We need to tell our pupils that we don't normally do that. Normally we brake first and then dip the clutch before we stop. So what I'd like you to be able to do is to practice a little story where you teach everybody how to move off and stop, giving all these main points, but to be able to do that in 6 minutes. What I'd suggest you do, most people have mobile phones that they can record. What I'd suggest is that you, using a lesson plan book with a list of main points in front of you, you try and come up with a story which is going to last about 6 minutes, which is going to cover all the main points on the briefing sheet, and it's going to not last longer than 6 minutes. Record that into your phone, play it back to yourself. Play it back to yourself thinking that you didn't know anything at all about the subject that you were watching on your phone, and think to yourself, have I covered everything that I need to cover, and would it make sense if I didn't know anything at all about the subject? Once you've done that a few times, and you may need to edit it or add bits in or take bits out, remembering it's a brief explanation, then what I'd like you to be able to do is to practice that, so in your own mind you've got a really good idea of how to repeat that every time you give a briefing, and that's going to help. What you can get on my DVD is a briefing for each subject that you're going to need to do. Some of the subjects, for example like cockpit and control, doesn't have a briefing, it's all briefing. But you'll see all that in the DVD. I hope that's going to help you. Thank you.